Vice President Sara Duterte slams yet another impending impeachment complaint.
President Sara Duterte.
President Sara Duterte.
Vice President Sara Duterte.
Vice President Sara Duterte.
Posibleng sa buwan ng Hulyo pa magsimula ang impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte ayon kay Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo.
Sara Duterte has been impeached by the House of Representatives. What's next? But first, let's talk about how we arrive at this political flashpoint. According to Article 11 of the 1987 Constitution, the House of Representatives has the exclusive power to initiate an impeachment case, either through traditional committee review or by a direct fast-track initiated by at least one-third of the members. Once the articles of impeachment have been transmitted, the Senate becomes a tribunal with exclusive authority to decide whether guilty or not guilty. At least two-thirds of the threshold must be met to be impeached.
Let's review the grounds for impeachment leveled against her. First, the controversial confidential funds. Investigators have first flagged massive ghost expenses, where 125 million pesos in confidential funds was withdrawn as cash, handed to a close aide, and recorded as completely spent in a span of just 11 days, with no proof of public benefit. To cover this up, the liquidation papers relied on fabricated documentation containing incorrect dates, identical handwriting across different locations, and signatures from non-existent individuals like Mary Grace Piatos. This blatant manipulation directly violates Presidential Decree Number 1445, also known as the Government Auditing Code. These actions establish a clear pattern of irregularity, with the Commission on Audit flagging 73.28 million pesos from 2022 and disallowing 375 million pesos from 2023, bringing the total disallowed amount to 448 million pesos.
With all this evidence in mind, what has our current judicial system done to facilitate the impeachment? The House of Representatives has voted 257 to 25, with 9 of its members abstaining, in favor of passing and transmitting the articles of impeachment against Sara Duterte. This exceeded the threshold outlined in 11 Section 3 of the 1987 Constitution, and allows these articles to be fast-tracked to the Senate plenary without delay, according to a press release by the Senate of the Philippines. Despite this, opponents claim that the constitutional rules are being violated by the 2026 trial. As also in Article 11 Section 3, there is a limit of one impeachment proceeding against a given official within a single year, citing an impeachment attempt in 2025. Though Supreme Court has shut down these claims of rule-breaking in a resolution, GR number 278353, as the trial cited was declared unconstitutional and void ab initio, and it was not successful in blocking the 2026 filing.
However, another legal challenge arose when a mandamus petition was filed that would force the Senate to open the trial under the claim that the Constitution demands that the trial proceed forthwith with a landmark ruling. But again, the Supreme Court was able to counter this claim as they defined the word forthwith. To mean within a reasonable time, and thus ruled that Senate cannot introduce undue delays, though they are allowed the institutional discretion to have sufficient time to prepare their chamber's rule prior to convening. Following this, the Senate convened as a formal impeachment court on May 18, 2026, with the senator wearing formal robe and swearing an oath to act as an impartial senator judges. Senator President Alan Peter Cayetano ordered a writ of summons to be served to the Vice President, giving her a non-extendable 10-day prior to file her answer. The Constitution required a two-thirds supermajority, meaning 16 out of 24 senator judges must vote guilty for conviction and official removal.
What does the trial imply for future alliances in the Philippine political landscape?
Magiging fragile in a way na mas magiging careful yung mga nakaupo and strategic and survival based.
The next question po, ma'am, is how would you think will the trial affect the party politics here in the Philippines po?
Yung trial na to, it highlights yung major weakness ng ating Philippine democracy na mahina yung political party system natin. Kasi sa ideal setup, it should be guided sa ideology. sa principles, sa consistent policy positions. Yung personality politics natin, yun yung dominant. Kasi yung madalas, yung politicians po natin, they align not because of the ideology but because yung mga personalities nila. Kasi pare-para sila ng interest.
So you've talked about yung political aspect po. Pero how do you think yung impeachment trial will affect the economic stability po ng Pilipinas?
Sa economics at sa politics, merong political stability. So, yung mga investors po natin, they prefer countries na stable yung government. Because yung stability, it means predictability. So, yung una, sa negative effects niya, yung mga investors po natin, yung confidence nila sa Pilipinas, it may weaken. So, pangalawa, yung government distraction. Sinasabi nila na instead na mag-focus tayo sa inflation, sa trabaho, sa transport, sa food prices, sa poverty, yung attention daw is nag-shift na toward dun sa political conflict. Lalo na ngayon, di ba, nagbago na naman yung mga chairmanship committees. So instead, na dire-diretso yung plano towards progress and development. Hindi na natin ngayon alam kung may mangyayari pa ba. Meron din namang positive sides. If maging transparent yung paglilitis at it's constitutional and evidence-based, it can actually strengthen yung confidence po sa ating Philippine institution.
In what ways will the trial affect the accountability mechanism here in the Philippine government?
So yung impeachment kasi, it is one of the strongest forms of accountability mechanism, meaning may constitutional process para may managot kahit yung pinakamataas na official in regards with positive effects na strengthen yung check and balances po natin. So, pinapakita na wala talagang official o kahit sino man ang above the law. So, ngayon, this strengthens the role of the Congress and Senate. So, pangalawa, it promotes transparency. But there are downsides as well. It become political weaponization instead na ang nakikita ay justice. Yung mga tao, may isip nila na parang this is just a power struggle lang yung nangyayari. Pwedeng magkaroon ng decline with public trust. Kapag na-divide na yung public, yung mga tao, they will stop trusting yung institutions po natin. So if Vice President Sara Duterte were successfully impeached, it could reshape yung political alliances. It may weaken yung political dynasty and it may affect yung 2028 elections.
Beyond everything you have learned about the process and duties of our lawmakers regarding the impeachment, it's time for us to step up and fulfill our roles as citizens. Sa simpleng panonood ng mga debate at mga hatol ng Senado kay Sara Duterte, critically examining their decisions kung sila nga ba ay nagtatrabaho para sa bayan o para lamang sa political na pamumuno o higit sa lahat, personal na balak. Remember, we are Filipino first. Pilipino muna para sa mga Pilipino. Because in this crucial moment, this is not a clash of political colors, but a unified stand of an honest citizenry rising up against the reign of corrupt politicians.